The Cathar, the Veran, and the Soran fleets moved together like a single blade aimed at Earth's heart. Dozens of capital ships glided silently through the black, their hulls bristling with weapons. Behind them came carriers, gunships, and supply craft enough force to wipe out any world. The commanders were confident. Humanity was primitive, weak, untested in real war. They had been told this would be a clean victory. They were wrong. The alien fleet crossed the orbit of Neptune without resistance. Their sensors detected nothing but rock, ice, and the faint glow of distant human outposts. Inside the lead ship, Grand Commander Veru leaned over his navigation table. "We push to Jupiter before slowing," he ordered. "By then, Earth will know we are here." Let them panic. But the humans already knew, and they were not panicking. Near Pluto, something stirred that the icebreakers, 6 massive warships disguised as frozen comets, drifted in perfect silence. For years they had been cold, dead, hidden among the natural ice fields. Now their engines came alive, glowing blue under the frost. The lead icebreaker, Shadowlance, turned toward the alien fleet and locked weapons on the bridge of Shadow. Lance, Commander Orinvale, watched the enemy through the holographic scope. "Range?" he asked. "Within striking distance, sir," replied his weapons officer. Orin's voice was calm. "Then let's introduce ourselves." The Shadow Lance fired. From the outside, it looked like a flash of white light cutting across the black. A moment later, the beam slammed into a Veran destroyer, slicing it clean in half. The alien ship exploded before its crew even knew they were under attack. 5 more beams followed from the other icebreakers, each finding a target. In the space of 10 seconds, 6 enemy ships were gone. The alien fleet scrambled. Sensors flared, weapons primed, captains shouted orders. But their attackers were already moving, breaking formation, vanishing behind the cover of drifting asteroids. The aliens fired wildly into the rocks, destroying nothing but stone at the edge of the system. Admiral Karavos watched the battle feed from the Antarctic Command Center. "They're confused," she said. "Good, keep them guessing. Don't let them find the real fleet yet." For the next hour, the alien ships advanced cautiously. Every few minutes, another icebreaker would strike, destroying a cruiser or a gunship before disappearing again. The aliens began to slow down, afraid of ambush. That's when the real trap closed, near the asteroid belt. Hidden gun platforms powered on. From the shadows of rock and dust, long-range railguns opened fire. Massive tungsten slugs tore through the armor of alien battleships, ripping them apart like paper at the same time. Stealth frigates ships the aliens never detected moved in from behind, targeting supply vessels. Without fuel and ammunition, the alien fleet began to falter. On the bridge of the alien flagship, Commander Veru slammed his fist against the console. "This is no primitive race," he growled. "This is a predator's trap." Still, he refused to retreat. They had not yet reached Earth. It was time for the humans to reveal their teeth. From behind the moon, the Iron Fleet emerged, the Titans. Wrath, the Black Ember, and dozens of other warships roared into space, engines blazing. They were unlike any ships the galaxy had seen, a patchwork of human engineering and alien technology, shaped for speed and destruction. The alien fleet, already bleeding from hidden strikes, now faced a direct assault. Captain Ryland Dross, aboard the Titan's Wrath, opened a fleet-wide channel. "Today, we fight not for survival, but for victory. Strike hard, strike fast, leave nothing standing." The first volley came from the Titan's Wrath herself, a beam cannon so powerful it shattered the shields of the enemy's lead cruiser in a single blast. The Black Ember followed with precision strikes, disabling enemy engines before they could retreat. The battle turned into chaos. Alien ships tried to regroup, but Earth's warships fought in unpredictable ways, darting in close, striking, then vanishing behind cover. Human pilots didn't follow the standard tactics the galaxy had grown used to. They fought like hunters, not soldiers. One human destroyer rammed a damaged alien cruiser, firing point blank until both ships went up in a blinding explosion. Another feigned a reactor failure, luring 3 enemy ships close before unleashing hidden missile racks. In less than 2 hours, the alien fleet was cut in half. Those who could still fight fell back toward Jupiter, leaving wreckage drifting in their wake. But Rylon wasn't done. He ordered pursuit, driving the survivors into another kill zone near the asteroid belt, where railguns and missile platforms waited by the time the fighting stopped. The solar system was quiet again, except for the cheers echoing across human channels in the Antarctic base. Admiral Kara watched the final enemy ships vanish into the dark. "They'll be back," she said quietly. General Holt stood beside her. "Yes, but next time they'll know exactly what we are." Kara gave a small, cold smile. "And they'll still lose." The first battle in the solar system was over, but no one in the command center celebrated for long. The alien fleet had been forced back, but it was only the beginning. Every officer in Project Iron Dawn knew what would come next. The galaxy would unite to crush Earth. Admiral Keravos stood in the Antarctic war room, studying the massive holographic map. Bright red icons lit up across multiple sectors of space. Scouts reported heavy movements from alien space, fleets gathering in numbers no one had seen for centuries. General Holt spoke first. "They'll hit us with everything they've got. We've humiliated them. Now they'll come to erase us." Kara didn't look away from the map. "Good. Let's give them something worth remembering." 3 days later, human fleets moved, but not for defense. In a bold move, Kara ordered a counteroffensive. Instead of waiting for the next alien armada to arrive, Earth would take the fight to them. Hidden wormhole gates, built in secret over decades, came online for the first time. Their existence was known only to a few within Project Iron Dawn. The galaxy thought humanity was trapped in its own system, but in truth, humans had the keys to multiple backdoors across alien space. The Black Ember, under Captain Soren Malik, was the first to go through. Her stealth systems rendered her invisible to most scanners. Her mission hit supply lines deep inside enemy territory. Within hours, reports came in. Alien fuel depots in the Varen sector destroyed, communication hubs crippled, cargo convoys vanished. The Varen home fleets had no idea how human ships had appeared so far from Earth's borders. Meanwhile, Captain Ryland Ross and the Titan's Wrath led a task force to the Cathar frontier. Their target was an orbital shipyard producing warships for the United Alien Fleets. The attack was swift and brutal. The Titan's Wrath absorbed heavy fire while smaller corvettes and frigates darted in, planting explosive charges on the docks. When the charges detonated, 3 entire Cathar dreadnoughts under construction were reduced to molten wreckage. The galaxy had always thought of humans as slow, reactive defenders. Now they saw a different side, fast, unpredictable, and willing to strike at the heart of enemy power. On alien worlds, fear began to spread. Merchants refused to send cargo toward human space. Planetary governors demanded extra garrisons. Some smaller species whispered that maybe Earth wasn't the enemy. Maybe Earth was the new power to follow. But while the war turned in humanity's favor, the alien alliance was far from beaten. In the Sorin home system, alien commanders gathered their largest force yet, over 100 warships supported by mercenary fleets. They planned to strike directly at the moon, Earth's primary defense hub. When word reached Admiral Kara, she made her decision quickly. We meet them before they reach us. All fleets converge on Saturn. The choice was risky. Saturn's rings offered cover, but committing the entire Iron Fleet meant leaving Earth itself vulnerable. Still, Kara knew the risk was worth it. The war would be decided in space, not on the ground. The battle at Saturn began with silence. The alien armada emerged from hyperspace, confident in their numbers. They advanced slowly, scanning for hidden defenses. What they didn't know was that Sentinel Prime, the massive fortress cannon hidden in Saturn's shadow, was fully armed. From the moon station, Ryland's voice came through the fleet-wide comms. Targets locked. All ships. Hold position. Let them get closer. The alien fleet kept moving, unaware. Then, with a single command, Sentinel Prime fired. The beam was so bright it lit the entire battlefield, cutting straight through the shields of the alien flagship and vaporizing it instantly. For a moment, the alien fleet froze, stunned by the sheer power of the weapon. That hesitation was all the humans needed. The Iron Fleet surged forward from behind the rings, guns blazing. The black ember weaved between enemy cruisers, delivering precision strikes to engines and reactors. The Titan's Wrath charged head-on into the largest cluster of warships, her alien-enhanced shields shrugging off incoming fire. Saturn's rings became a killing ground. Rocks shattered under weapons fire, debris spun wildly, and explosions lit the darkness. Halfway through the battle, General Holt's voice comes from the command center. They're breaking formation. Keep pressing. The humans didn't let up. Enemy after enemy fell until the survivors fled into hyperspace, leaving wreckage drifting in the icy void. In the aftermath, the Iron Fleet held position among the floating remains of the alien armada. Saturn's shadow loomed over them, and the silent rings glittered with the wreckage of war. It was a calm morning on Earth. Cities were busy, oceans were quiet, and the skies were clear. People went to work, children went to school, and no one knew the universe had just decided their fate. Far above the planet, in the shadow of the moon, a small defense station floated in silence. Inside, a crew of 20 kept watch on the stars. It was routine, and routine meant nothing ever happened. Until today, the first. Sign was a single beep from the main console. Lieutenant Aria Lorne looked up from her monitor. Captain, we're receiving a signal. Priority 1 encryption. Galactic Council channel. Her captain, a tall man named Ryland Ross, turned his chair slowly. The Galactic Council never contacted Earth directly. If they did, it was never good news. Put it on the main screen, Ryland said. The screen flickered, then a stern alien face appeared. Its skin was silver blue, eyes like polished stone. The voice that came was deep, cold, and without emotion. Humans, you have violated interstellar law. You have ignored our warnings. For these crimes, the Galactic Council declares war. The message ended as quickly as it began. No further explanation. No negotiation. just war. On Earth, news channels exploded. The words Galactic War declared burned across every broadcast. Some people ran to buy supplies. Others searched for places to hide. In the streets of New York, people pointed to the sky as if alien warships might appear any second. In Tokyo, emergency sirens wailed. In the cities of Africa, South America, and Europe, governments went into lockdown. Fear spread faster than the message itself, but not everywhere. Beneath the frozen surface of Antarctica, in a base hidden from the public for decades, a different reaction took place. In a war room lit by cold white light, 6 figures stood around a holographic display of the solar system. They were generals, admirals, and scientists, the people who ran Project Iron Dawn. The youngest of them, Admiral Kara Voss, looked at the others and smiled. Finally, she said, "It's time." General Holt, a broad-shouldered man with a scar down his cheek, leaned forward over the hologram. "The Council thinks we're weak. They think this will be easy. They have no idea what's coming." For 50 years, Project Iron Dawn had been Earth's most guarded secret. It began the day humans realized that peace with the galaxy would not last. While alien empires showed polite smiles, their fleets grew larger every year. Earth had seen what happened to weaker worlds: conquered, enslaved, erased. So humanity prepared in silence. They built warships in hidden shipyards beneath the seas, inside hollowed-out asteroids, and buried deep in the ice of moons. They studied every scrap of alien tech they could find, legally or stolen. They built weapons the Council had forbidden, and they trained soldiers in zero-gravity combat before the rest of the galaxy even suspected they could fight. Back on the Moon Defense Station, Captain Rylan received new orders from Earth Command. They were short, just 4 words: initiate Phase 1, immediately. He didn't need to ask what it meant. Phase 1 was the signal to bring the fleet online. The real fleet, not the handful of old ships the galaxy thought Earth owned. Rylan turned to his crew. "Lock down the station. Clear all civilian comms. From this moment on, nothing leaves this room without my order." The crew moved fast. Consoles lit up, encryption shields went up, and one by one, secret communication channels opened to hidden bases across the system. On Mars, inside a canyon base carved into red rock, hangar doors rumbled open to reveal long, sleek warships that had never been seen by the public. Their engines glowed an icy blue, not human blue, but a mix of alien plasma tech and Earth's own designs. On Europa, under the thick ice, a submarine dock transformed into a launch bay. From the water, black armored strike ships rose like predators coming to the surface. Even in the asteroid belt, entire mining stations shifted as panels opened, revealing missile platforms disguised as rock. The galaxy thought Earth was defenseless, but Earth had been building an army in the shadows, and now the shadows were moving in the Antarctic base. Admiral Kara Voss watched the holographic map as hidden fleets came online across the solar system. "By the time they arrive," she said, "we'll be ready." General Holt grinned. "We've been ready for decades. They just gave us permission to show it." Around the table, no one looked afraid. In fact, there was something almost dangerous in their calm. Back in orbit, Captain Ryland stood before the defense station's viewing glass. The Earth rotated slowly below, peaceful and unaware. He knew that would change soon. He also knew that when the first alien warships entered the system, they would see a very different Earth than the one they thought they knew. And maybe, just maybe, They would regret ever sending that message. Asterisk, the Galactic Council thought they knew every fleet in the galaxy. They had spies on hundreds of worlds, watching shipyards, counting weapons, reporting troop numbers. Their data on Earth was clear. Outdated warships, small fleets, limited technology, a backwater planet with no real military power. And that's exactly what Earth wanted them to believe. In the frozen depths. Beneath Antarctica, Project Iron Dawn's command center came alive. Holographic maps lit up, tracking ships that officially didn't exist. Admiral Keravos stood at the center of the room, her hands clasped behind her back. Her voice was steady as she gave the order. Activate all hidden assets. Begin full system defense protocol. A young officer hesitated. Ma'am, this will reveal everything to the galaxy. Kara's eyes narrowed. The galaxy has already declared war on us. It's time they learn what we've been preparing. The order spread like a spark through dry grass. On Mars, asteroid bases, deep-sea shipyards, and orbital platforms all went active beneath the red dust of Mars. Hangar doors opened in the canyon walls, revealing sleek black warships. They were like no human ships the galaxy had seen. Angular, armored, built for speed and survival. Alien alloys shimmered in their hulls. Proof that Earth had been scavenging and reverse engineering enemy tech for decades. In the asteroid belt, what looked like harmless mining stations shifted and unfolded. Panels peeled away, revealing missile silos and railgun batteries, each capable of tearing through a cruiser's armor in a single strike. Even the asteroids themselves were armed, hollowed out, and filled with weapons, disguised as space rock, until the moment they fired. On Europa, far beneath the ice, a secret submarine dock stirred. The frozen surface cracked open as black armored strike ships rose from the water. They were shaped like predators, small, fast, designed for stealth. Each one carried enough firepower to cripple a capital ship. All of this had been hidden. For years, not even Earth's own people knew the full scale. When alien visitors came to inspect, they were shown only old ships and civilian stations. Everything else was buried deep in ice, in rock. In the shadows, it was the greatest deception humanity had ever pulled off. Captain Ryland Dross, still aboard the Moon Defense Station, now understood the truth. When he first joined Earth's defense fleet, he thought the old frigates and patrol ships were all they had. Now, watching encrypted feeds of entire hidden fleets coming online, he realized Earth had been playing a much longer game. One of the feeds caught his eye, a massive structure drifting near Saturn, hidden behind its rings. It was not a ship. It was something else. "Command, what is that?" Rylan asked. Admiral Voss's voice came through the com. "That's Sentinel Prime, a fortress cannon. You'll learn more soon enough." Far from Earth, in deep space, the alien fleet was on the move. Scouts reported the human system was lightly defended, just as expected. No sign of major fleets, no heavy weapons detected, but not all scouts agreed. A few claimed their sensors had detected strange energy readings near the asteroid belt in Saturn. Those scouts never returned. In the Antarctic Command Center, General Holt studied a tactical map. He pointed to a cluster of icons near the Kuiper Belt. "Deploy the icebreakers. There, let's give them a surprise before they even see Earth." The icebreakers were warships disguised as frozen comets. They had been drifting silently for years, waiting for activation. Now, their engines warmed, and they began moving toward the edge of the system. Kara turned to her officers. Our advantage is time and surprise. Once they know what we have, they will never underestimate us again. Ma'am, one of the younger tacticians said, if they see what we have, won't they unite the entire galaxy against us? Kara gave a cold smile. Good, let them come. We've been waiting for this moment. Meanwhile, in a sealed hangar beneath the seas of the Pacific, an older warship sat in darkness. Its hull was scarred from battles long past, its engines silent. This ship was different, older than any human design, built from the remains of an alien vessel humanity had destroyed years ago. A lone technician worked in its engine bay, connecting glowing cables. As power flowed into the ship, lights flickered in the command deck. For the first time in decades, its systems came online. In the dark, a voice spoke from its AI core. It has begun. By nightfall, every hidden fleet, base, and weapon platform in the solar system was awake. The galaxy still believed Earth was undefended, but in the blackness of space, hundreds of ships waited like hunters in the tall grass. Captain Rylan looked out from the moon station at the silent void beyond. He knew they wouldn't have to wait long. On the moon station, Kara addressed the fleet. Today, we've proven the galaxy's worst fear, that humanity is not only ready for war, but ready to win it. This is our time, but far away, in a chamber deep within the Galactic Council's capital. Alien leaders were not discussing defeat. They were discussing something far more dangerous. One of them leaned forward and whispered, if humanity can fight this well now, what happens when they decide to conquer? Asterisk, the victory. And Saturn sent shockwaves across the galaxy. For the first time in living memory, a united alien armada had been destroyed, not by another empire, but by Earth. But in the council chambers of the Galactic Alliance, fear turned to desperation. If the war continued this way, humanity would become the dominant power in known space. Some council members wanted peace. Others wanted something far more dangerous. In a sealed chamber, deep beneath the council capital, a plan was put into motion. They would awaken an ancient force, a weapon from a time before the council even existed. The weapon's name was whispered only once in the meeting. The Harrower back in the solar system. The Iron Fleet returned to cheers from every colony and station. Earth's cities lit up in celebration. From the oceans to the asteroid mines, humanity stood taller than ever before. But in the Antarctic Command Center, Admiral Karavos was not celebrating. She studied new intelligence reports, her face hard. The alien alliance had gone silent. No fleets, no scouts, no broadcasts. General Holt stepped beside her. They're planning something. They're stalling, Kara said. And they're waiting for a weapon we've never seen before. 3 days later, sensors at the edge of the system lit up. A single ship, no, something larger, emerged from hyperspace. Its size dwarfed the Titan's wrath, even the Sentinel Prime. It was shaped like a black spearhead, with a hole that seemed to absorb light. It carried no markings, no transponders. Its arrival triggered every alarm in the system. On the Moon Defense Station, Captain Ryland Dross stood on the viewing deck, staring at the thing on the horizon. What in God's name is that? The crackled Admiral Kara's voice, tense and urgent. All ships, defensive formation. Do not engage until I give the order. The Harrower didn't move like other ships. It glided forward slowly, almost lazily, ignoring the fleet that surrounded it. Then, without warning, a pulse of black energy rippled out from its hull. Every human ship within range went dark. Engines offline, weapons offline. The Iron Fleet was paralyzed. On the Titan's wrath, emergency lights flickered as systems died. Nothing's responding. Mara shouted from the helm. "It's not a weapon we know," Ryland said grimly. "It's shutting us down without even touching us." Then a voice, deep, ancient and inhuman, echoed through every channel. "Children of Earth, your time is over." For a moment, fear gripped every crew. But in the Antarctic, Base Kara's eyes narrowed. "Bring Project Eclipse online." Technicians stared in shock. "Ma'am, Eclipse has never been tested. We don't even know if do it." Kara snapped. Project Eclipse was humanity's final contingency, a weapon hidden even from most of Project Iron Dawn. It wasn't a ship or a gun. It was an AI virus designed to invade and rewrite any alien system, no matter how advanced, and it had been built from the same alien tech humanity had scavenged for decades. On the Titan's wrath, systems flickered again. Then, one by one, consoles came back to life. The Harrower's black pulse slowed, then stopped. Ryland's weapons officer grinned. "Sir, we're back online. Then fire everything we've got." The Titan's wrath unleashed a full BARRRAGE, rail guns, beam cannons, missiles. Other ships joined in. The Iron Fleet surrounding the Harrower, like wolves tearing into a giant. The Harrower fought back with terrifying power, blasting ships apart with each strike. But it was too late. The Eclipse virus was inside its systems, shutting down its weapons, locking its engines. Finally, the Harrower's black hull cracked under concentrated fire. A chain of explosions ripped through its spine, and the ancient ship broke apart in a blinding light. The shockwave rolled across the battlefield, but the Iron Fleet held position. When the light faded, only wreckage remained. The Harrower, the weapon meant to destroy Earth, was gone. On the moon station, Ryland exhaled. "Is it over?" Kara's voice came through the cum. "For now. But the galaxy knows something. Now Earth doesn't just survive war, we win it." That night, as celebrations erupted again across human space, Kara met with her commanders in private. "This war has given us something we never had before. Fear, not ours, theirs, and we will use it." General Holt nodded. "The galaxy came to break us. Instead, they've woken us up. Far beyond human space, in the ruins of the Harrower's launch site, a shadowy figure stepped into the light. It was not alien, and not entirely human. He looked at the stars and smiled. "Now the real war begins."